This is a second stimulus check and stimulus package update for Monday, May 25th. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is LALATE. Like and subscribe to this channel and drop your comments below, and we may feature them in tomorrow's Tuesday recording. And please click that bell button on the front so you can get alerts when new videos go live. And we'll be answering all 50 of your incredible questions from the stimulus package and stimulus check update from yesterday. They were wonderful questions. But first, the news. And this is impacting everyone nationally. As you know, a lot of the stimulus check and stimulus package plans required your businesses to open, but you couldn't because certain lockdown orders were still in place or orders that restricted your business to operate in full capacity. Here's the issue. Under the PPP loan program, for example, you're required to put your workers back to work and pay their salaries and submit those bills by mid-June. But in some cities, you couldn't do that. So how could you put people back to work, submit bills? And if you can't do that, it's horrible, because what happens is your grant, which could be your loan, which could be forgiven, could turn into a long-term loan. And now that's changing. Minutes ago in Los Angeles here, where we're recording, big news. In-store retail operations are now resumed effective immediately, the time of this recording. 10 minutes before sitting down to tape this recording, Los Angeles issued a brand new update. Janice Hahn, who is head of our local supervisors, had written the governor saying, hey, let our retail operators open so that they can have in-store retail operations across all operations, not just Home Depot and certain BevMos, all retail. And the governor said, yes, effective immediately, all in-store retail is open. This is big for several regards for a lot of you. It clicks in the issues of PUA, unemployment benefits, second stimulus check, stimulus package, and all that great stuff. And here it's why it's an issue. Some of you have been on unemployment benefits because you couldn't return because your retail operations were shut down. Several of you were PUI recipients of benefits from your state as independent contractors, couldn't go back to work in full capacity because retail was shut down. Others of you were waiting for an EIDL loans and EIDL grants because you needed that money to tide you through while your retail operations were shut down. With the lifting of retail orders, not just in Los Angeles, but in all cities across the country, a lot of you can get back to work and get funded in the way that you knew best, making money in your businesses. Now, how does that impact a stimulus package, a second stimulus check? You're going to ask the question. I'm going to answer it right now. The fact that you're getting back to work because orders have been lifted does not preclude you from getting a second stimulus check. And where are we on that? So let me recap you. As we come back from Memorial Day weekend, the second stimulus check and stimulus package is the following. It's currently in the Senate. It's come from the House. It was devised by House Democrats. It calls for a single check, not 6 checks, not multiple checks over many months. Rather, only a single check. It's $1,200. It is not tied to unemployment rates. It is not tied to other economic measures. It is a single check to be delivered to you. The intention is to get you that check in the month of June. It's to be given to you and including dependents in a way that you may not have been paid during the first stimulus check. Now, here's the rub. Republicans in the Senate don't want to pay it to you. They've so far said that they don't want to pay a stimulus check. I don't think it's going to last that battle, and I'll tell you why. 85% of U.S. citizens polled said that they are entitled to a second stimulus check. And with those numbers across all party lines, I really do believe a second stimulus check is going to come. Now, how much is it? Well, unfortunately, it's only $1,200. It's currently devised. It's not $2,000, which was a lot of you had commented in this channel. It's not $2,000 for 6 months. But there are other elements that are key. They are the following: hazard pay. The HEROES Act, which I'm really referencing, the House Democrat bill that is now in the Senate, calls for $13 per hour to be put on top of your normal hourly rate if you're working in a hazardous work environment. Next, there is a call for PUA and unemployment benefits to be extended for that $600 supplement, which I'll get to in a second, into January 2021. Now, this is a big issue for some of you watching this channel. If I'm saying to you, stay-at-home orders are being lifted for certain businesses, it may not impact you if you have been permanently let go. If you have been permanently let go because of COVID-19 and cannot find new employment and currently being paid your unemployment benefits on a weekly basis, approximately $139 or so, plus $600 from the federal government, that $600 stops in July. The CARES Act, which was passed in March, only pays you that $600 benefit through the month of July. It stops then. But the HEROES Act proposes to pay you that into the month of January. So, if you are concerned that you may not find new work after July, it is a big issue that you need to speak to your senators about, saying, hey, I may not find work. And, it is something that one could see coming. And I'll tell you why. Unemployment in the United States is second worst in the country now. Steve Mnuchin has said that he thinks the unemployment rate, the real unemployment rate, is about 25%. It's going to get worse before it gets better. A lot of businesses have filed for bankruptcy. And more businesses are going to file for bankruptcy on a regular basis, which is not getting a lot of news because we're over the Memorial Day weekend. But I think we're hearing things about Gold's Gym in the last 24 hours. We're hearing a lot of new stuff. So unemployment is going to be a big issue. And a lot of you watching this channel, unfortunately, may still be unemployed. If you are a PUA individual who is impacted by COVID-19, you may need that $600 benefit from the federal government on top of the base number if you are still impacted by COVID-19 past July. It's just a hot mess. And then there's all of you that watch this channel that are EIDL loan or grant applicants that have been put through the ringer and haven't gotten a single penny. So that's why this second stimulus package is so important. Now, there are a lot of parts of this package that I don't talk a lot about, and a lot of other channels don't either. But I'll sort of mention them to you because they are important, and they are loan forgiveness. There's a student loan forgiveness part of the HEROES Act that calls for some student loans to be forgiven. There's extension of the principal and interest repayment under the HEROES Act to be extended into 2021. These are parts of the second stimulus package that we just don't know where the Republicans are at the moment. Their position is we don't like anything. Their position is everything creates a welfare state. We just don't know, unfortunately, really where they're going to fall. In my belief, I do believe they're going to give you a second stimulus check, $1,200. Great. A lot of the comments, and we're going to get to them in a second, they think that they're going to politicize this second stimulus package to basically look at it as a reason to reelect them because they gave you a check. I don't think that works. I'll tell you why. Because the check really needs to come in the month of June. I think anyone that thinks the stimulus check is just going to come in the month of August or September is absurd. And if a politician thinks that they can hold on to giving you money for several months from now when you're entitled to this money in the month of April because they want to use that to get reelected, I just don't think it's going to work. I don't think in any universe it's going to work. The reason why is following. The CARES Act originally was to pay you 2 stimulus checks, one in the month of March for the month of one in the month of April for the month of March, and one in the month of April in the month of May for the month of April, and you got 1 stimulus check. The reason why is because the final version of the CARES Act only kicked out that second check, which is a shame. But let's get to your incredible questions, and here we are. So Ivan Dever says, the government does not care. They're getting my pay no matter what's going on. Absolutely well said. Rich Nostro. I thought it was just me. I'm in Florida. I applied for one. I cannot get any answers when I call. I can't believe what's going on. Mary Gertie. Oregon is just as bad for the self-employed. Applied in March. Filing faithfully every week, even waiting on approval for my PUA. I'm not alone. We're literally starving here, and Oregon cannot process our claims. So Mary is complaining about PUA and unemployment benefits. She says Oregon's a hot mess. Thank you for the update, Mary. We have not heard a lot from Oregon for our viewers, so that is the first. Thank you, Mary. Robert Henson, thank you for your wonderful presentation. Thank you, Robert. Rihanna Phelps, if I think I'm pronouncing that right. I haven't gotten my first check. I did get a letter saying the payment was made out April 24th. Still no check. Any answers? Anyone? No. It should be coming down by a debit card. Derek Pino, what is this $2,500 you're talking about for Uber and Lyft drivers, and how do I qualify for this $2,500 since I'm an Uber driver? There's nothing to qualify for. It is an issue of contention, issue of argument between the senators as to whether it's going to pass. I don't know. Watch yesterday's stimulus package video, which I'll link above, and you will see, it's in our playlist, and you will see that senators and House members have been trying to give you $2,500 as an Uber Lyft driver because they think think you are an employee, not an independent contractor, and we're not given sufficient benefits under the first CARES Act. Mr. Drinker, never vote for a Democrat again. Okay. And have a drink on us. Penny, loved it. Well, thank you, Penny. Samuel Lombardo, who comments on a daily basis. I think they need to fix the PPP and EIDL situation or grant the Federal Reserve to do what SBA is failing to do. Great point. So he wants to have the Federal Reserve come in and take care of the SBA. I love that. And have the SBA accountable for fake grants need to be paid in full. They've saved $500 billion on what? Wow, I hope they count the right number of zeros, no pun intended. Great comment. Wuhan. Florida is a double-edged sword. It took my friend from March 26th to May 11th to get his benefits in the form of Visa debit card. Poor guy was calling their website every day. Finally received a check for some $58 a week. Awful. How is that torture? Luckily, after a week, he started receiving $600 a week from the federal government. There you go. That's the add-on. That's the CARES Act that I'm talking about. The total amount in errors was about $1,800. In the meantime, he had to apply for food coupons. He went through every conceivable emotion you can imagine. What am I relying on when I go through this tip of the iceberg? What the government is doing to American people is criminal. Well said. I love your show, your humanity. It shows your steady regard for the truth. Thank you so much. The trick is not to know a thing. It's to know how to use what you know. Ancient Chinese proverb. Well, thank you, Wuhan. I love your comments. I'm sorry about your friend. It's unfortunate. There is, I don't understand the $58 a week. There's a minimum benefit that every state pays, and $58 is not the minimum benefit. Ask your friend to look and see how the way he certified his weekly benefits, he may have done those weeks wrong. Going forward, if he's still impacted by COVID-19, he's still certified for benefits. He needs to look at the way he's inputting information, and you need to have him first look up what the minimum benefits are in his state, because they're generally about $139 or $179. He should have been getting that plus $600. I don't know what the $58 is. He may have said something incorrect. John Finley called and talked to SBA versus Tier 2 rep and said Fred, the rep's name is Fred. He could not see anything, suggests I call back 3 to 6 days. It's amazing if these were taxes, the government they would not be stonewalling. It's just our money. A lot more lawsuits are in the works. He's very well said. He's basically saying, hey, they're ready to fine you 1 second when your taxes are late, but SBA, when you call them on the phone, they can just sort of get to things when the sky is blue. Samuel Lombardo with another comment. I believe it's more than a third of Americans are unemployed. I mean, here's Sam. So Samuel Lombardo, who comments on a daily basis, thinks that the unemployment rate is really higher than 30%. I would not disagree with him. If nobody's getting approved, no money is being sent out, and big agencies fail in their part, which the president assumed would happen, then that's where the money is blocked from the economy. Unless SBA and other agencies are doing their job, the $2.2 trillion will not show up in the economy. And as for Fortune 500 companies, how will they be able to pay their stocks when they realize they're the only ones playing Monopoly because we're already sold out? Think about this. The Fortune 500 and the above companies are betting on each other, and who knows how long this Monopoly game will go on. Great. I love this. I feel like it's really fake news as those sitting behind a computer typing in on the stock exchange, having people believe the economy is okay. Before Trump leaves them and you see the stocks fall so hard the core of the earth will be even shaken. That's my bombshell for tonight. Keep up the good work, updates, facts, and information relating to the Americans. I love that. And I have a few comments to add to what he's saying. And I want you to pay attention. And here comes the bombshell. 13 minutes. I always leave a bombshell to the end. I didn't tell you to stay to the end, but I hope you did. Here we go. First, the stock market is not indicative of the strength of the U.S. economy. Lots of stocks are up, but those stocks are not necessarily representative of the U.S. economy. And you'll see that last week, and you'll see that coming up next week. Just because certain stocks are up doesn't mean the economy is doing well. Next, consumer confidence is driven by what it is, says consumer confidence. It's consumers are unemployed. They can be partying as much as they want at Lake of the Ozarks for Memorial Day weekend. But if they go back home on Tuesday and realize they're unemployed, they are still unemployed. And unemployed people don't buy, and unemployed people don't spend. That ultimately hurts everything. Unemployment kills consumer confidence. And consumer confidence is what drives an economy. If you're not putting people back to work because you don't have jobs, and those businesses can't afford to put people back to work, then everything just implodes. And for that small business owner who has desperately needed their stimulus check or stimulus package to be in their hand, or their EIDL grant, or their EIDL loan, or their PUA benefits, and have not received it, every single time that happens, it impacts a lot more people than just that business. It impacts everyone that comes in shape with them on a daily basis. So it's for those reasons that all these stimulus packages and stimulus updates are so critical to not just you, the individual, or your business, but everyone around you that comes impact with you. It's not just a single check. It's everything that comes with a stimulus package. And yes, we may talk about things like student loans or hazard pay, but ultimately, if the businesses and the individuals can't get what they're owed for from the federal government, nothing will work. So this is a stimulus package and stimulus update for Monday. Drop your comments below by 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, Wednesday, and we love to feature them in tomorrow's comments. As always, like and subscribe to this channel, and stay with LA for more.